established. We've gotten people who got processed for funding the next day after they established their business. So this is literally, I go online, spend 20 minutes online, open up an LLC, call Ryan, he submits my business credit application. The next day, I'm submitted to process. It's really that easy. Now, the 720 credit score, I'm sure some, score like that, that's a really, good score. So don't let that intimidate you, because you are able to get funding with scores less than 720. We've gotten people, Devin out of Indiana, 657 was his highest credit score. The rest was like still the 650s. But was able to get him funded. I think he got about 50 or 60,000 or something like that.
56.
And he only had 4 years of credit history. This guy had graduated from college only a couple years ago.
He's 26 years old.
Yeah, 26 years old, and he was able to get that amount of funding to use to purchase his first rental asset. And it's one of those things where we have it completely mapped out. So you may come and you may have a 680 on one bureau, 720 on another bureau, a ton of inquiries on one bureau, no inquiries on the next. What we have is an inquiry map. So based on your specific location, you falling asleep right here, bro. I need you to wake up. Am I bored? I'm speaking like, man, I'm joking. That makes me more comfortable. It makes me more comfortable when I pick on people. So, what was I saying? We have what's called an inquiry map. So we're literally able, based on your specific location, based on your credit profile, and based on your strongest bureau, we will only apply to banks that fit that model. So if you have that 720, that's good, right? If you got that 720 experience and you got a 500 on the other two bureaus, you may still be okay. Even if you have paid collections. If you have paid collections, that's still okay. If the paid collection, at a zero balance, and it's listed as paid in full, you still can get funded. So this is literally filling out an application, allowing us to tell you and give you specific instruction on what to do to get this funded. Does anybody have any questions about those things?
So we need to just sign your list, right?
Yeah, I'll pass it out.
So we'll start the list. We'll start both of them up front, one on the left side, one on the right side. So you guys just need to put your name, phone number, and email address, and we'll make sure that we give you contact within 2 business days. Yes, ma'am, and then.
So you're saying that this is going to be based off with using our Social Security number?
Absolutely. So it's based on your personal credit. However, it does not appear on your personal credit profile. So to get access to it, you gotta, so you do have to have a business, but it's based on your personal credit. So this means, because a lot of people ask me this, they say, hey, you know what? If it's based on my personal credit, how do I get business credit? Well, you're not going to get business funding unless you supply a couple of things. One, you either on one side you have without a personal guarantee. So if you're getting business funding without a personal guarantee, you got to bring all your documents to the table, right? You got to bring tax returns. You got to show merchant statements, bank statements. You got to have at least $10,000 a month in revenue. Then you got to show that you're doing 10 different transactions to get to that $10,000 a month. That's completely different. This is business credit with the personal guarantee. So you put your personal credit up for it. However, it does not appear on your business credit profile unless you default. And to default on a credit card, you have to make consecutive non-payments.
Is it going to be a hard inquiry on the credit?
Absolutely. It's going to be a hard inquiry on, so it's not perfect, right? It's not funding coming down from the heavens. So of course you're going to have to sacrifice something. But keep in mind, with your personal credit, you get those inquiries placed on your credit, those can be removed. Inquiries can typically be removed anywhere between 30 and 45 days.
That's the wash, rinse, and repeat cycle I have in the book. Step-by-step process. There's a wash, rinse, and repeat. Get the business funding, inquiry removed. Right, you guys remember me saying this, right?
Right.
Inquiries removed. Right, apply for a mortgage, find a deal, close on that deal, repeat the process. The whole thing in details in the book.
Right. Well, 1 second. Yes, ma'am.
I just wanted to know, the fact that you have 23 and 24 cards in your hand, do you, in one day, go and do the inquiries to see what you'll get back? In like the same day before it affects your credit, the fact that you're doing all of these inquiries on your credit score, basically? Are you making sure that you're doing everything in one day? Basically, I'm just trying to ask if you're doing all these inquiries, doesn't that lower your credit score in the end, or affect it in the end?
Okay, so I'm gonna answer that question. So yes, inquiries typically affect your credit score anywhere from 1 to 2 points per inquiry. So more important than the score, it details your attractiveness as a borrowing candidate. So a lender's gonna think 1 or 2 things if you have more than 5 inquiries per bureau. One, you already got access to capital, and they want to be able to see you have a chance to show responsibility with that capital. Or 2, you're extremely eager for capital, so if these banks didn't give you money, I'm not going to give you any money. But with that stated, when we apply for credit cards on your behalf, we take those things into consideration. So we'll inform you, hey, you got too many inquiries here, you got too many inquiries there, these are the steps you need to take. Or we'll look at your report and apply specifically to banks that fit your credit profile.
Yeah.
So that could be applying to 5 in 1 day. It could be applying to 2, 3 days later, 4, and so.
So we tailor it based upon what you bring to the table. So that's perfect. So they have to have a credit monitoring service, correct?
Yeah, you would have to have a credit monitoring service. So keep in mind, we also do not pull your credit. We don't want to do anything to harm your credit. Now, of course, once you go get submitted to processing, you're going to have lenders pull your credit. But for evaluation, because we do free award estimates and consultation, we don't have to pull your credit. The only thing we need to do is look at your credit monitoring service. So in our experience, it's 2 services that work best, and that's for the consumer and also for the lender. And that's Privacy Guard. So I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with privacyguard.com.
Yeah, I can write that down.
Or creditchecktotal.com.
So when we contact you for the consultation, again, it's free consultation, no upfront fees. Help us out by having an account with privacyguard.com. How much does it cost?
It's only $1. It's super easy. You can get a 2-week trial for privacyguard.com. It costs you $1. Give us a call. We submit your application into our underwriter team. That takes 2 hours. So within 2 hours, you'll have an award estimate.
What was the second company?
Credit Check Total.
Creditchecktotal.com.
Credit check total.
Now, both of those are going to be good for personal use. I actually have both, Privacy Guard and Credit Check Total, but either one of those for personal use on a month-to-month basis is really good. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so the credit cards you can apply for if you already have credit with that particular company. You guys, does it matter?
Oh, it's on the application. We ask you what business funding you currently have. And so we'll say, okay, well, maybe you can increase those lines. And we give a lot of free consultation, right? So we'll tell you exactly, hey, you have a Bank of America card. Call them, tell them this to improve your credit limit without incurring a hard inquiry. Tell them to do it as a courtesy for business use. So we'll tell you how to increase your own lines if you have it, no extra cost.
And keep in mind, this is national as well. So, I mean, most people have the major banks, Capital One, Bank of America, Chase. The banks that we're applying to are not only those major banks, but banks you've never heard of. So we will literally tell you, hey, you know what? Although your business is incorporated in Georgia, if you go ahead and file in Florida, we can get you an additional $30,000. So it's down to a science.
Yeah, like I foreign filed my company in multiple states, so I can attack local lenders who are lender friendly.
Yes, ma'am.
So if you have credit cards now, say for instance you have one that's $5,000
Mm-hmm.
and you don't have a balance on it or anything, can you convert it, or how does that come into play? Because like I have credit that don't have balances. Can I convert it over
To business credit?
Oh, no, you wouldn't be able to do that. But in case you did have let's say a balance transfer, where you had that card at, let's say, $2,000, you could transfer your personal credit debt to business credit. But you wouldn't be able to say, hey, I got $5,000 on my personal Bank of America credit card. Let me now change this over to business. Any more? Yes.
With the credit monitoring, if you already have credit monitoring, that would put you have to use credit monitoring that you all use.
Well, the ideal is Credit Check Total Privacy Guard, but by chance you have anything else, we're not going to turn you around. We're going to take care of you. For sure.
We recommend them. We have no affiliation with them, so it's not like we get a check for referring them, but they're just the most accurate. So, because many people say, well, what about Credit Karma? I'm like, well, how much does that cost you? Nothing. So how quality do you think it is? Right? You get what you pay for.
Yeah, these two, so every lender, every bureau, every credit monitoring service have different algorithms to calculate your credit scores. So, don't get disturbed if you look at one credit monitoring service that says 700, the next one says 680. That happens all the time. What's most important is that you understand what's actually on your credit history. And those two are the easiest for you guys to read. So if you literally woke up and never heard of credit and you look at those two credit monitoring services, they have keys on them that identify exactly, literally everything that you need to know and understand. And keep in mind, it's a business relationship that you'll have with us, so we just don't get you funded and you never hear from us again. We contact you probably too much because we want to make sure that you are using these things with responsibility. And we also provide the 7 ways to convert it into cash, so you won't have those same stops that we ran into.
Yeah, and we could do an extra bonus too. I create webinars, right? And if we have a free webinar for you about how to use business credit for real estate. So it's in the book, but the webinar kind of shows you the math. Okay? Like how to structure the deal analyzer I referred to earlier, how to use the deal analyzer with the 100% finance model to make sure it's a cash flowing deal. Okay? But you got to make sure you fill out that form so we can reach out to you and provide you with the consultation and those bonuses that I just stated.
And these things are free too. We give a lot of free material out because we have an affinity for helping others. The last 2 things I want to cover, just in case you guys were wondering, like I said, the business relationship. So after you get funding, we will help you increase your credit limits for free. So let's say you get $40,000 the first round. Typically, within 3 to 6 months, you're able to get your credit limits increased. We will literally provide you with specific instruction on how to get your credit limits increased, and that is free. You won't have to pay the lender, you won't have to pay us. And we've had at least double we can get you, but we've had people get 3-fold, 4-fold, even 6 times what they originally started off with. So by chance, if you're that person who gets an estimated reward of only 10 to 15,000, it's not the end of the world, because in 3 to 6 months, you're able to get that amount at least double.
Any other questions? All right, I have 2 questions. I got Facebook Live, guys, just multitasking. All right. So 2 questions from Facebook Live. How does someone get the book online, and how do they remove inquiries online?
How do they get what book? Oh, in order to get the book, if you guys want to get the book, Quit Your Day Job, it's an excellent book. Juan Pablo, of course, author here. You're able to order it online. If you go under our, we have a books tab. You go under the books tab, you'll be able to see the book available online. It's 100percentfinance.com. And it's also, if you guys are interested in any of the things that we have to offer, 100percentfinance.com is the best way to start. You can also give us a phone call. We have a team of 7, and we rush to the phones. Our phones don't ring more than twice. So if you call us, we will answer, and we will take care of you because we are eager to help. Yes, ma'am.
I have some hard copies for 15, but online is 20.
Who got that free book, by the way?
Yeah, we have them in the back.
So what do we look for on your business card?
Okay, yeah. Speaking of which, that's a great segue to the free giveaway. So everyone received the business card, right? Who has the business card with a star on it? That's you?
Oh, congratulations.
You got the book. Can we give him a round of applause? Everyone else is pissed. Thank you. All right, so did everyone have an opportunity to finish filling out the sign-in form, or does anyone need more time? Still okay. All right. Do you guys have any additional questions for us, or?
Webinar again. What was the site, or what is there?
So as long as you put 100percentfinance.com.
Okay.
But as long as you put your name, phone number, email address, we'll call you and supply you guys with all the information for the webinar.
And you have YouTube already?
Oh,
Yes. But the webinar is bonus for you guys. So there's certain content I don't release on YouTube, but the more specific information, we'll give it to you once you apply for business credit. Just say, hey, I want the audiobook, how to convert credit to cash that you promised, and the webinar on how to analyze a deal using business credit.
And it can be confusing, right? This source of fund, especially if you're unfamiliar with it, just keep in mind that's what the consultation is for. I get a lot of people who they like to disqualify themselves, but if you're not an underwriter, if you're not a professional at qualifying people for business credit, don't make the mistake of disqualifying yourself. Just apply. Once you apply, we just don't shoo you away. We educate you. Say, hey, this is where you stand. This is how you can get access to it. So that way, if by chance you do get an estimated award, you already know, hey, I'm 30 days away from this amount of funding. Just 30 days away. So it's very important that you at least investigate into your options of creative finance.
What's the typical interest rate on the cards?
That's what I wanted to go over. That's a good question. It's a credit card, right? So it's going to come with an interest rate anywhere from 14 to 24%. So just keep in mind you have to use this debt with precision. So just like you wouldn't want a doctor operating on you with a butter knife, right? You want them to have a scalpel. It's the same way you're going to use business credit. Now, don't get intimidated by the interest rate, because the way credit cards work, as long as you're able to make the minimum payment, you're going to be fine. Typically, the minimum payment is going to be about 1% of use plus interest. So if you rack up $50,000 on these credit cards, it's going to be around $500 to $600 a month that you're going to have to pay. Now, if you're using $50,000 to $60,000, I hope you're getting a real great return on investment, and you can use that money to cover the business credit debt.
Last one, I promise. Do you also look for cards that are like interest-free for 15 months, 18 months?
All the good questions, absolutely. So we actually asked you that. So we asked you, are you open to cards that don't come with 0% interest for the first 6 to 18 months? And we can typically get you more funding. But sometimes we have people say, hey, you know what? I'm not as comfortable. I want to take it a little slow. Let me get only cards that come with 0% interest for the first 6 to 18 months, and we will only apply for those types of cards.
The monthly, I know some credit cards, an annual fee.
So we don't typically apply for cards with the annual fee. This is also something that we'll discuss with you up front. But typically those business credit cards is rare that they come with an annual fee. And before we apply to anything that's associated with additional costs besides the minimum payment, we'll let you know. So you'll be fully abreast of that. Yes, ma'am?
That's a hard one. So how are you compensated from this effort?
Right. This is a good question. So we charge only on the back end. So once you receive your last card for funding, so let's say you got funded $40,000, that last card for $8,000 comes in, about 5 days from that, we'll send you an invoice. Typically, and it's 12.5% back end fee on it. So if we get you funded $100,000, that's $12,500. So sometimes we have people that say, hey, you know what, that's a lot of money to pay in the back end. To get access to that kind of funding with only your personal credit profile, that's nothing. That's something that you can cover one of those business credit cards and make that minimum payment of $120 a month. And if you're using the business credit like you should be using, which is to produce an income producing asset, what is that amount?
And let me break down the math too, guys. So assuming you get a conservative amount, $40,000 in 30 days, okay, and you pay the success fee, that's $5,000. So you're paying $5,000 to get access to now $35,000 if you do the difference. But just keep in mind, as Ron already stated, 1% of the balance plus interest. So if the interest is 0, 1% of 5,000 is $50 a month. So I ask people, so you're saying you're not willing to spend $50 a month on this credit card to get access to $35,000 that you can use towards your deal? Because I've done hard money deals as well, doing flips. And some hard money lenders require down payments. And so I would use the business credit for the down payment. And it's only cost me $50 a month. That's what we teach. It's the mindset and it's the math that people don't understand. Many people talk about the ins and outs of real estate investing. That's good, but what about financing? You got to understand how to structure the math, especially if you're dealing with other people's money. Like I'm a syndicator. I syndicate multifamily deals, right? I have limited partners who invest with me. They will not invest with me and pay me my acquisition fee, my finder's fee, if you will, if I did a poor job at doing the numbers. So that's what we teach. You got to be able to do that. Because I use business credit. The reason why I discovered business credit, because no one wanted to partner with me up front. Why? Because it was a catch-22. You need private money to do deals, but you need to do some deals first to get private money, right? They want to see your rap sheet. I had neither. So I focused on getting business credit, got 30 units, and then I started networking and obtaining investors. After I accumulated 30 units by myself, okay? And that's the process you need to do. If you work on yourself first, because you incorporate it as your most important business, work on your personal credit, get access to business credit, get that business acumen up where you know how to structure and finance your deals properly, then it's easy. People love to do business with you. At that point, they see you already got a proven track record. But until then, nobody does.
Absolutely. And don't make the mistake, because a lot of our clients do this. They make the mistake. They hear Juan Pablo on the YouTube channel, and they do one or two things. Either they'll go use the same strategy and they'll do it on personal credit cards, or they'll go out and apply for business credit cards on their own. Many times, if they do get approved, which is rare, they do get approved and they apply for business credit cards on their own. When they do get approved, it's typically for cards that you aren't able to convert into cash.
Right.
So then they've got their credit all marked up. They got these business credit cards, but they can't convert it into cash. So this is something that at that point we can't help with. Or they, got a bunch of personal credit cards and max out their personal credit cards. Now they're in a position where they can't get that refinance, or they're stuck not being able to make an additional move just because they harm their personal credit program.
And I ran into that. That's how I
Right.
discovered this business. As
We
a part of
do-
being in it.
We
I got
do
jammed
not
up.
We do not do any online application, so that's what most people figure out, hey, this is how I apply for a credit card. All of our credit applications are manual applications. So this is literally Mike at Bank of America in Atlanta, Georgia, that is looking at your application. If there's a mistake on it, he's going to contact our underwriter about these mistakes. So this is not the typical, I'm just going to go online and apply for a business credit card. These are lenders that we have a relationship with. We know how they work. We know how to complete these manual applications on your behalf, and we know the things to say or to instruct you to say if something happens where you guys make an error or we make an error.
Do you guys do line of credits too, or just credit cards?
Typically, just business credit
We
cards.
do offer line of credit, and that's why I said typically, but it's for the person who has a great credit profile,
720.
higher than 720. 720, and you have to have like a operating business that you can prove documents and so forth. But just starting out, business credit is a good way to do it. And again, you can do multiple rounds, so it's not a one-time deal. Every 3 to 6 months. So that's why I say it's a wash, rinse, and repeat cycle. And it's outlined in the book. Any other questions? All right, if you can give Hollywood a hand.
I appreciate you guys.
All right, I think we're done. So if you guys want any books, and if you're finished with the sign-in sheet, just hand it over to Hollywood. And you have her business credit card, so you got her number. The website's on there as well. Our social media handles are on the back, so you can check us out there. And if you want a copy of the book, just see Hollywood as well. All right. But thank you guys for your time, and enjoy the rest of the seminar.
Can you buy your book with the credit card?
Thanks for watching the video. We appreciate your viewership. By the way, guys, make sure you subscribe to 100%finance.com. We have a plethora of tools that can help you succeed financially. We have a report on credit repair, 3 tips on how you can improve your FICO score. We also have a business credit ebook. We have a ton of real estate related documents, from deal analyzers to a mortgage calculator, a whole bunch of resources. You just have to subscribe. And one last thing, don't want to forget, we are offering free live webinars to answer your questions. This is only made available to our website subscribers. So you have to subscribe to 100%finance.com to receive the details as to the date, the time, and the call-in information for the webinars to answer your credit repair, business credit, or business funding needs, as well as your real estate related questions. Thank you guys again for watching, and subscribe.